Is the USA being abandoned by its alliance? USA with its alliance NATO always be so loyal and faithful to the USA in many different conflicts that USA get to start around the world. But why all the suddenly all the USA alliance, they have started turning their backs against the USA after 1 year of conflict in Ukraine? Now we're talking about Taiwan. What have the USA have done that really pissed off its alliance? Something incredible is happening on the other side of the Atlantic Oceans. The Europeans, big houses such as Germany and France, they are doing the opposite of what the Americans are doing in the world right now. France, Germany, as the USA alliance, both of them, they are moving away from the USA foreign policies after seeing on how USA keep on involving themselves in the war and conflict around the world. France and Germany get to understand that they have a lot to lose than the USA does. These two countries, instead of continuing to support what Americans are doing around the world, they decided to isolate themselves from the USA and draw close to China. They choose to strengthen their relationship with China instead. All this become more obvious when the French President Emmanuel Macron decided to visit China and meet the Chinese president when the USA is about to start attacking China through Taiwan. And the French President Emmanuel Macron dropped a bombshell to Americans when he says Europe cannot blindly follow the United States' lead and should avoid getting dragged into crises that are not our own. President Macron have to say all this because of the ongoing war between USA and China over Taiwan. Do you want to see how this have pissed off and make Americans so angry? Well, have listened to what Mark Levin have said.
And look what this bastard does to us, the president of France. He goes over to China at the height of tensions, stabs us in the back, says he will not support us. He's provoking the Chinese to act, talks about autonomy. You can stick your autonomy, France, as far as I'm concerned.
After France president finished with his word, the New York Times published an article saying French diplomacy undercuts US efforts to rein China in. But guys, let us be honest here. The last time France tried to own the USA to not do something very stupid, it was in 2003 when the USA asked its alliance to support them to invade Iraq, which leaves Iraq to be the way it is today after killing Saddam Hussein. The Iraq war was the first which left the Middle East such as the Europe countries in a very big disaster. So here, whether we like it or not, let us give credit to the France president who's trying to avoid another big disaster that is ahead of them. But Macron's comment did not only stop with China. Instead, it went far to criticize USA effort in Ukraine. Europeans cannot resolve the crisis in Ukraine. How can we credibly say on Taiwan, watch out, if you do something wrong, we will be there? Well, for a moment, let us be honest. How can Europeans be credible to tell an Asia country that we can be able to solve your problem when yet they can't solve their problems within European countries? In this article of Foreign Policy, a French parliament member wrote this and said, the European Union should find its own voice in the world affairs and not to let its world view and interest to be shaped by others, whether in Washington, whether in Beijing. Though the USA policymakers may not be ready to hear it, the uncomfortable truth is that Macron is saying out loud what many European partners quietly believe. Regardless of how many pressures that USA is putting on the Europeans and its alliance, the Europeans needed to have someone who will stand up and speak in their behalf to say that now it is about time we get to put the interest of Europe all above. Now that one person has done it, it has encouraged even more countries. They are coming in their numbers in support of all this. Look at it, what Germany have done in order to tell the Americans that we are not with you in this part. The New York Times published again last week this article saying that as US tries to isolate China, Germany companies move closer. This article have even revealed the truth, because the more sanctions they have imposed on Russia, it had really devastated European countries, that the one who are being even more affected. In our previous video, we spoke about it. We showed the fact that these sanctions that they are being imposing on Russia, it keeps on making Russia to survive and becoming even more stronger than these European countries. So Europe, they are now in the energy crisis, which will never gonna finish any moment soon. So Germany companies, they have understood that they need a partner such as China to trade with instead of the USA, who keep on involving them in trouble. The China market, it is very important for the Germany mobile industry. Many Germany companies have been affected already by this war that is ongoing between USA and Russia, and they don't want to even to make things worse with China, because remember, USA, they imposed sanctions against Russia. What Russia did in return was for them to make sure that they keep what it belongs to them. They keep their gas that they used to supply to the European countries. Obviously, Germany companies will not gonna sit down and try to do the same mistake as what they have done to let the USA go and start something that they're not gonna finish anytime soon. Here is another easy example. Russia is being under sanctions, and they stop also supplying gas to the European country. One of these European countries that are suffering from this energy crisis, it is Germany. Right now as we're talking, they are now being supplied by coal from South Africa, and this coal, we don't know for how long South Africa will continue supplying this coal, because we are having already a problem of load shedding. Besides that, the government, I'm referring to the ANC, they are being under attacked by opposition parties, reminding them that how can you supply coal to other people when you're still having problem that you need to solve with this coal. Above all, to make even things more worse, this South Africa, it is part of BRICS country, which Russia is part of it, China is part of it. It's just a matter of time if they get to put pressure or telling South Africa that you have to stop supplying these people with your coal. South Africa will do it with a pleasure, because there is no way that South Africa will get to abandon its alliance in BRICS to go and supply NATO countries with the coal. So now let's put it in this very simple way. Russia stopped supplying gas to Germany. Now, as we're speaking right now, Germany, they get to survive with coal. This coal, if South Africa decide also to cut off right now, to stop supplying coal to Germany, which means Germany, it will be over for them, because I don't know by what magic they will have to do in order for them to have energy. And that is something that these Germany countries and even the government, they get to understand that it's not a good idea for them to let anyone to come and tell them on how to live their foreign policies. Besides Germany, what about France? Well, France, they even have a lot to lose in all this, in case if USA decide to go ahead and start attacking China through Taiwan, or the way they are doing in Ukraine by attacking Russia over there, because Americans, they have made it even more clear, saying that they are going to do everything by all means to finish off Putin. And they say that they are going to supply Ukraine with everything that they need.
That I've had the privilege of welcoming here as Prime Minister, and there's a lot of great history here. In fact, this room that we're standing in, Winston Churchill made many of his famous speeches in World War II from this room. And in the same way today, your leadership, your country's bravery and fortitude are an inspiration to us all. I look forward to us discussing what more we can do to support you and your country.
First of all, thank you very much. You supported already a lot for us. You did a lot, you, your government and His Majesty, the King, and of course your people, your society. We're very thankful from all our hearts from Ukrainians, from our soldiers. We are thankful, and this privilege to be here. Yes, the first time. You said not the last.
Definitely not the last.
So we, of course, will discuss very important issues, urgent support for Ukraine and security for. I think not only for Ukraine, it's important for all the Europe. So thank you that you hosted me and invited me.
Well, it's great to have you here, my friend.
So it is now more obvious that there's no need to count on the peace negotiation, which other countries such as South Africa, we have suggested to them that they should go through a negotiation. Instead, what happened is that the USA, they realized that they have invested a lot of money. Imagine NATO giving 150 billion US dollar to Ukraine in order for them to do what? Not to rebuild the building which is being damaged over there. Instead, they're giving all them this money because they want this war to continue. This is another way where I keep on telling you guys time to time that Americans, they were so desperate trying to find the proper way to fight Russia, but they never get a chance. Now that they get a chance to see a small country such as the Ukraine next to Russia, they feel like it was a good opportunity for them to go and face Russia over there, because they don't want to fight directly with Russia, because they don't want either to see their country being damaged as the way the way Ukraine is being damaged at the moment. So they're using now Ukraine and using the Ukrainian president as a puppet in order for them to fight Russia. Now we don't know for how long this will take place. And European countries, or should I say USA alliance, they have understood that we don't have much time to remain here, because everything we're trying to suggest, USA have to have that last word to say about this, whether they're going to approve it, whether they're going to reject it. How many countries, how many leaders in the world, they suggested the road of negotiation. But since it's not a negotiation that's going to benefit USA, that is the reason why they keep on rejecting it. And today, they had declared it more open that they are fighting Russia. Now, France, they can see that this is not benefiting them. And for the fact that they see USA jumping straight, trying to attack now Russia through, trying to attack China through Taiwan, they understood that no, we can't just keep on depending on these people, especially France, since they had many countries in Africa which make their economy to be where it is today. Because remember, in France, they don't have nothing. The whole Europe, they don't have nothing that can be compared to what we have in Africa. In Africa, we have everything. We have everything that the world need. So, with all this conflict going on, Africa continent, Africans, we have positioned ourselves. We have decide that no, look, we don't want to get involved in all this, because we know the game and we know the owner of this game, how he behave like. Because Africans get to understood of what had happened to Muammar Gaddafi and many more African leaders who really wanted the best for Africans. So Africans, they have tried to isolate themselves from all this. Now, as these things keep on going, we get to understand that who's a victim here and who's being guilty. All this because of one nation, which want to dominate everyone. Now, we shall wait and see what will happen next between France and America. Now that they get to start talking about all this in the media or in the different platforms where they get to exchange about the world matters. We shall wait and see also what will happen between Germany and the US after Germany they decided a proposal of going to attack China through Taiwan, and they had to go and choose to continue trading with China. We shall wait and see what will be their reactions, because I know so far many people that are tired of USA, but they don't want to speak it out. I'm talking about USA alliance. They are tired of them, but they don't want to speak it out. They don't want to have that courage, as we get to see with the president of France, especially now that they decide to go and challenge China in Taiwan. That is not something that American alliance they will accept. I don't see them accepting that. They're not going to be able to take that and face again another embarrassment or crisis in their countries. Thank you so much for watching this video until now. We really do appreciate your presence here. Before you leave, do us a favor. Give us your thumbs up. Love this video. We'll really do appreciate. If this is your first time to watch our video, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel because this is what we talk here. We talk about things that make sense and not nonsense. Here we educate, we look around the world on the topic that is trending and we get to discuss about it. For now, continue to be yourself. Be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.